Where's the lying news agency of Nigeria? Are they here? Those liars and deceivers, are they here? That distort the news. You don't know what law is. You don't know what justice is. Where's the news agency of Nigeria? What are they? You don't know that God is a God of justice. You don't know that? That God in heaven is a God of justice. You don't know that?
But that's what you wrote. You said here, my lord, that the defendant has now applied for bail. Now, as I've said earlier, bail is a decision of the court taking into consideration all the conditions laid down in Muhammad Abuja v. State. At this stage, I am of the opinion that to make or take a stand on the bail application without first hearing and determine the issue that is glaring in the face, which is the absence of the defendant from the court since 25th of April 2017 until he was produced on the 29th of June, my lord, which was exactly what the Supreme Court did. They said that he did not jump bail. These criminals came to my house to kill me. That's what the Supreme Court said. This is in your own court, my lord. So I cannot understand, my lord, why my trial will be conducted contrary to the Constitution of Nigeria that said I must have free and unfettered access to my counsel. It's here. Okay, he did something in my case. I refused him. He was coming to issue. I asked him to do himself. Why did the chief judge insist I was right? He left my case.
Okay, listen. If anybody is not happy with this, then you need to go and
with this order of court, go to appeal court. That's what you tell me all the time. You are from this official. You cannot preside over this case number again. Not in this life. You cannot. Not now, not tomorrow, not ever. I don't know here cannot force this court to preside on my case. You cannot. Not today, not till forever. You are recused and you stand recused. Tell the chief judge, Nnamdi Kanu said, go on appeal. I recused him from my case. The state recused Justice Adama from my case. I did not insist. Adama must hear my case. I never insisted. So why must you insist? To hear my case? I don't want you in my case. I don't need you in my case. You are biased. You are biased cannot be my propriety. Nowhere in the world such nonsense law. You cannot be hobnobbing with lawyers, hobnobbing with justices, and you're proceeding a case. It's shameful. Absolutely shameful. Shameful. This is a record of law. This is a shrine to injustice. And I will not subject myself to it. You stand recused and you must take my case. The law says if you disagree with this, I want you go and appeal. You are a grown-up man. Because of 300 million, you're behaving like a child. Go and appeal. Because of money. Because of money that paying you from ATM office, you are here standing and smoking evil. Because of money. A grown-up man like you. The rule of law says you go and appeal. His lordship beat that you don't answer my case. Not the benefit of Chief Awomolo, because he says he doesn't know the law. So I will tell you, this is national judicial policy of this country. Please give them a copy each. National judicial policy of Nigeria. National judicial policy. I will tell you what it says. Because you don't know, I will tell you. Talking about memo from the chief judge of the High Court. Judicial policy of Nigeria. 1C. I'm reading. Verbatim. In the performance of judicial functions, the judge is subject only to the law and must only consider the law. The rule of law in every common law jurisdiction in the world is that once an order of court is entered, the only way to set aside it is by going on appeal. That's the rule of law. But it's not okay, you don't know. I will go to see. A judge must not take or attempt to take orders or instructions of any kind from anyone, military judge, from anybody that may influence his decisions in the performance of judicial function. It means that his lordship having entered an order of court and decision.
My fellow Biafrans, listeners all across the world, I want to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending from where you listen to the sound of my voice. This is the Biafra Superstars Media. Ladies and gentlemen, today is the day of the Lord. Today, Monday, the 27th of October, 2025. Our leader, Nnamdi Kanu, was in court today to defend himself in court. So before I speak on this, I would like us to just listen to a snippet of what happened in court today, and I'll come back to give a very brief, in-depth analysis. Please listen to what our leader said in court today. Listen.
They're here that distort the news. You don't know what law is. You don't know what justice is. Where's the news agency of Nigeria? What are they?
Not yet.
You don't know that God is a God of justice? You don't know that? That God in heaven is a God of justice. You don't know that?
Oyendo Ohamadike, we love you, we appreciate you. Ohamadike. Ohamadike, we appreciate you. Today he called out on the news media. Those we call the Zoom media, the Yoruba media, unfortunately, it is coming from a particular tribe. They own the media in Lagos. They control the media in Nigeria. They control the narrative of the media across that so-called Nigeria. So no insult to my Yoruba brothers, but unfortunately, the runners of the media in Nigeria are from the Yoruba tribe. Today, our leader was in court and he came out boldly. And in his defense, he said he gave praises to God and told the justice that he has no case to answer. That he has gone through his case files and he's glad, he is joyous, he is grateful that he has no case to answer. So let the game begin. It will be upon the judge, Justice James Omotosho, to come out and say in the public that Nnamdi Kanu has a case to answer. Because the Abuja High Court is a lower court compared to the appeal court of Nigeria. So let us watch and see how in the next adjournment, I believe that's on the 4th of November, let us watch and see how the justice, as they call him, James Omotosho, will come out in the public and tell Nnamdi Kanu to his face that he has a case to answer. They are playing checkers, we are playing chess. Let him come out and condemn or overturn the rulings of the appeal court that said Nnamdi Kanu has been discharged and no other court, no other case should be brought against him. No other charges should be brought against him. That's a higher court, higher than the court that Justice James Omotosho is sitting on. So that's the next phase. We told you that with the hands of Nigeria, they will condemn their own law. They will condemn the precedents, the jurisprudence of the rule of law in Nigeria. We are waiting to see what will happen on the 4th of November, where James Omotosho will come in the public and say, Nnamdi Kanu, you have a case to answer. Despite the Court of Appeal, the higher court, has said Nnamdi Kanu should be sent back to Kenya. He was discharged of all cases or of all charges and said he's a free man. But unfortunately, Malami came out in the public and said no, that yes, Nnamdi Kanu was discharged, but he was not acquitted. So even though the discharge was there, they didn't give him no freedom. He was still being held in custody. He was still being held in custody for 2 weeks before Malami and his stooges put in for a stay for the judgment reached by the Court of Appeal. Until this day, the rigmarole is still going on. The gymnastics of the Nigerian Zoom media still carrying the narrative saying Nnamdi Kanu, he jumped bail, and the rest of them. I wonder if any of them will be still standing if a government come to your house, send their Islamic military to your home to kill you, while in the process, 28 people in your house were killed. Even in the days of Abacha, just the pressure that he put on Nadeko, all the members of the Nadeko, they went on exile. They were traveling through and fro, leaving Nigeria, going on exile. They even have what they call the infamous Nadeko route, a route taken by them to escape from Nigeria, despite just a pressure from Nigeria, from the government of Nigeria back then. But in this case of a man that 28 people were killed in his home, including his dog Jack. They killed 28 human beings, including the dog of Nnamdi Kanu, known as Jack. And some of you wicked, evil-minded people still expect him to remain in Nigeria. But in the time of Tinubu, he felt the heat, the pressure, even though we know he was the eye of Abacha during the time of Nadeko and MKO Abiola. We know now that he is the eye because his antics shows he is not a Democrat. So those things he was doing back then in the time of Nadeko was just a charade. I have called out for the real members of Nadeko to come in the public and condemn this man they call the president of Nigeria. He's not a Democrat. He should be ashamed of himself. All the real members of Nadeko, you must come out and condemn the actions of this man. We all thought that Buhari was the problem. We assumed, that Buhari was the mad lunatic that was the problem. Not knowing that this one will even be worse. Today, we are hearing now that the CDS, the new chief of the defense staff, or whatever they want to call him, is now a Yoruba man. The AGF is a Yoruba man. The justice dealing with the case of Nnamdi Kanu, Justice James Omotosho, is a Yoruba man. The prosecutors of Nnamdi Kanu in court are Yorubas. The president is a Yoruba man. Now you can see the tribalistic nature of a man you call a Democrat. Where is the balance? Where is the Wazobia school of thought that you all professed back in the days of Zik, Awolowo, and the rest of them? Tribalism has eaten deep in that country. That you guys, you are not one, but you pretend to be one. You only love it because he's your brother, and that's why you support whatever policies he brought up or brings about. To the Yorubas, this is not you. Tribalism should not be in your nature. Don't allow this man to bring the worst out of you. I've told the real Yorubas to come out and say, not in your name will Tinubu be doing this, what he's doing to the Igbos. Because this man has waged a war on the Biafrans, especially the Igbos. Our businesses in Lagos are being destroyed. Our homes in Lagos are being destroyed. Our land and licenses being revoked in Lagos as we speak. There is a war going on against the Igbos. Unfortunately, by the Yorubas. Unfortunately, by the political elite from the Yoruba side. So I'm calling on the whole world. The God that you serve must be a God of justice. If not, you are serving the Lucifer. You are in bed with the devil if your God is not the God of justice. Because what this man is going through is not justice. This is not how justice looks like. This is not the face of justice. This is not the antics of justice. When there is justice, you will respect the rule of law. When there is justice, you will treat everyone, every man, woman, tribe, people equally. When there is justice, you will make sure that there is no bigger I or smaller you. Everyone have the same equal opportunities. In your country, in your state, in your community. In whatever you do, there must be balance. In Egypt, they call it Ma'at. The law of Ma'at, balance in whatever you do. The yin and yang is there, but that place, that bliss point, is justice. Where everything is carried out according to the conscience of your heart. Today, what you see in Nigeria is unbelievable. As we speak, the Christians are being killed everywhere, left, right, and center. We are seeing the killing of the Christians, but yet the media are calling it a farmers and herders clash. Islamization is happening in Nigeria as we speak, but the media say no, it is a farmers and herders clash. The other day, they blamed the IPOB as the one propagating the news about genocide of Christians in Nigeria. Today, as we speak, despite terrorism all across Nigeria, your army, your police, your navy, they are in Biafra land, killing the children of Biafra. The Biafran war has not ended. They see us as the enemy. They want to annihilate the people of God with the Biafrans. But we are saying the case of Nnamdi Kanu will be the last. This is the last time you will have a piece of us. This will be the last time. Going forward, we have divorced ourselves from Nigeria. We don't believe in Nigeria. And we are done with this thing called Nigeria. Fellow Biafrans, I'll leave it here for now. All I want to tell you is that observe what will happen on the 4th of November, where Justice James Omotosho will have to go against the rule of law, what they call the judicial precedents, where they said, the lower court cannot supersede the higher courts. So we shall watch and see what it says in the next court date for Nnamdi Kanu. Let's see if he will come and say, Nnamdi Kanu have a case to answer. By saying that, it means he is going against a superior court, a higher court, of the Court of Appeal that said Nnamdi Kanu on no account should they bring any charges against him. We shall be observing. We shall be watching from a distance. We shall be seeing the antics of Nigeria. This will bring a shame, disgrace on that entity called Nigeria. Fellow Biafrans, listeners all across the world, let's leave it here for now. But let's keep on observing. Thank you. May God bless you. And may God bless Biafra. Thank you.
Yeah. Check me out. Superstars Media. Lord Logan, Bloomington, Lord Logan, and it's Wild Flora Show. 1914 amalgamation is what we dying for. 3 nations to 1 nation, ever since annihilation. Nepotism is nonsense. You and you, clap your hands. Biafra gonna come, clap your hands. Biafra, Oduduwa, we're free now. Freedom is gonna come, we're free now. Yeah.